All right. Got Home Squad Sports. Going to go ahead and go over Rivalry Week. Dalton, man, it's a cold one out. Winter's here. And, yeah, we've had a crazy Rivalry Week. How you doing today, man?
Man, this is way too early in the year to be. It's like 10 degrees right now or something.
Yeah, it's bad.
Not too exaggeratory there, man. It's not football weather, honestly. I hate when people say that. I don't
No, no.
disagree.
No, it's not. It's not. We played in some cold games, but I
I
don't
like
know. We didn't play anything like this. So
I didn't
shout out
play.
to everyone still kicking there, and that's actually a good note that you brought that up because we do have some guys still going and still playing out in the cold. Jason Wright is still kicking in the playoffs. He's leading his team there, LC Bird, through the Virginia State playoffs. One game away from the state championship. So shout out to him, Buffalo commit. If you're familiar with the show, then you're probably familiar with Jason. So we met him in Elite 11 last year and this year, I guess. And yeah, man, he's killing it, and hope he brings it home.
Yeah, man. One more game. I'll be so close. You can taste it. Been there before, as me and you, and it's
Yeah,
awesome. Player, it's awesome. One game away.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Me and Dalton were on a team that made it to state run, and we got blasted by the reigning national champions there at Trinity High School. And but we made history along the way. They're 14-1. But yeah, other guys are trying to make history. But there was some history actually made last week. If you're familiar with the show, if you tuned in last week, we were wondering if Ennio Yapoor is going to break the record for Florida's all-time passing record, and he actually did. So shout out to him. Big shout out to Florida's got a new all-time passing leader in high school. So shout out to him, man.
Yeah, great career. It's one of the best schools, states in the country for high school football. So it's impressive, man.
Yeah, yeah,
You can't do that without 4 good years. You must have 4 good years.
yeah. Shout out to him, give it up to him. He's got some offers there. He's a 3-star recruit. Um, we know over his offers last year. He's got UMass and some, maybe one of his best offers there. We'll see where he goes. We got guys shuffling around, which we'll get into in a second. But speaking of shuffling, Dalton, I mean, we've seen shuffling, kicking, and punching. I mean, let's go ahead and get into it. What all we've seen from Rivalry Week that
Man,
was, and maybe the most historic Rivalry Week we've seen all week. I mean, all year ever. I mean, it was crazy.
hey,
I
look,
can't remember. I can't
you,
remember this much chaotic of a week.
you said earlier it didn't stick in the turf. It looked like a pitchfork stuck in the turf.
Well, they
But
might be in real grass on that one.
I don't know. It's hard to tell. The grass is so nice, yeah. But man, it was
Yeah.
awesome. People, you hear about all the old heads talking about, NIL is going to ruin the kids' rivalries. They don't care about the game, all
Yep.
that. Oh, they don't care. Look at this, man. They
We
care
got
more than
mascots
ever.
fighting. We got mascots fighting. We got
I mean,
everybody going at it, man. I
they
mean,
care
we
more than
see.
ever. It seems like, which it surprises me too. But I love it, man. This is what
Love it.
college football is all about.
Love
College
it.
sports, and I'm here for it, man. Bring on the fights. Just don't get them too crazy. You don't want anything to get too violent. That's not football, but
I love
still,
these last. I love these last couple plays right here. These when they're driving, each other out, out of bounds and showing a lot of effort there, man. I love it. So yeah, like you said, it was an insane week. I mean, look at this. It was insane all week. Every single game had something going on. I mean, that looked like an
we're
Olympic
dumb,
javelin throw
baby.
right there. But Florida, as you can see, got your dub there, Florida Gators. I mean, God, I mean, it was insane. Let's go ahead and get into it and break it down. We got scores here from games that wasn't our top six. We got scores from games outside. I mean, let's go ahead and take a look. Overall, Dalton, man, what'd you think of Rivalry Week? Did it live up to your expectations? Did it live up to the bill there or what?
I thought it was pretty good, man. I wish some of the games would have been closer, but you can't. No games are going to be. Not all of them are going to be close every week. It's impossible. But there's enough good finishes to supplement it, and then when your team wins, it's always a good week in college football, really. So maybe the
Yeah,
rival. I know it was an easy win. They were 2-9, but you can never take it for granted.
never.
So we did it. And so great week for me, and it was a great week on the whole, man. That Georgia Tech game was crazy. We'll get to it later, but man,
God, so
game of
many
the
good games.
year.
So many good games. We had a feeling that the playoff bracket and playoff picture was going to have some shakeup here, and it surely did, which we'll get into as well, man. But first off, before we get into the games, a game that wasn't on our top six that we'll have to go over there is as our playmaking abilities here. MVP, Player of the Week, Kyle McCord, man. I mean, absolute baller this week. I've been critical of Kyle McCord in the past. Everyone knows he transferred from Ohio State. Ohio State didn't want him. They thought they were making the upgrade, which is I don't think they did. I think Will Howard's better. What do you think, Dalton?
Yeah, I think McCord had a better year this year than Wood Howard for sure. I mean, maybe just
Yeah,
needed a year. I mean, he might have been really good for Ohio State this year. There's only one way to know, and that's in the past. But
yeah,
McCord had a better QBR than Will Howard did this year, last year.
right.
Um,
Yeah.
so that was his first year start, and this is what Howard's like for us. So I'm just saying, I think McCord's better. Howard's more mobile, but you saw what he brings to the table in the clutch.
You do, you do. I mean, this guy they were down 21-0. I think. I mean, Cam Ward was out there trying to put the team on his back, just weren't able to do it. The defense was kind of weary at the end, which we'll get into him there. But he had a crazy game: 380 yards, 3 touchdowns, had 90 points on the QBR. So shout out to him. But I always want to give him his props there. We always pick one out of the week, and it doesn't matter if we're critical on him in the weeks past. If you show up, if you show out, doesn't matter who. We're going to shed light. So shout out to him. But let's go ahead and get into the first game, Dalton. We got South Carolina with a big win. Now, Dabo ended up getting in. He snuck in. Looks like the ACC championship, which we'll talk about later. But what'd you think here? South Carolina for real?
Oh, great defensive battle here, like I thought it would be. The only offense was the QBs running for both teams. Sellers and Klubnik. Nobody could pass. The running backs couldn't get nothing going. But Sellers had some highlight runs, man. That last run he had for touchdown was crazy. One of the best plays I've seen all year. With just about the quarterback running.
Yeah.
They're good, man. They're the best 3-loss team in my opinion. I know Bama beat them earlier in the year, but I was so close. It was a toss-up game. It ain't like they dominated them. And their resume now, the fact they beat Clemson, I think they might be able to jump Bama. Auburn's not an impressive win as Clemson, but I think they're for real, man. I'm glad we didn't have to play them this year.
Yeah, yeah. No, I feel that. I mean, like you said, we've always talked about their defensive ends. They're young. They're showing up every week. They're going to probably break the bank next year. And looks like they got their quarterback who they're going to rock with. They were kind of seeing if it was kind of a test year for this year, and it looks like it's paying off, man.
He's good, man. He's probably the best freshman quarterback this year. Like the whole season. I mean, give me Lagway still, but Arch
Yeah,
man, give me Arch and Lagway still in the future. But this year he had the
yeah.
best year of all the freshmen. So shout out to him, man. Great season, and Shane Beamer. It looks like he's turned it around there. And I'll be interested to. Really hope Clemson doesn't beat SMU this week, man. That would suck.
Clemson, yeah, I know. I mean, I think that Clemson's not that good, which we'll go ahead and get into. Let's go ahead and bring it up. I got a graphic while we were getting into it. Now, I don't know, man. Everybody's got their opinion on Clemson. They didn't use the NIL. Dabo's been pretty, adamant on he's not going to use it. We'll see if he kind of sticks to that moving forward. I don't know. Really, only time can tell, man. But let me go ahead and get your thoughts here on some situations. Now, they haven't had any crazy wins, right? They haven't had any like crazy wins, and people are thinking that they don't really deserve to be in. So let me get your thoughts here while I bring this up. All right. Sorry. All right. So we got 0 ranked wins, and
Yeah,
they've lost the only 2 ranked games on the schedule. Embarrassed by unranked Louisville at home, and still has a chance to earn a first round bye in the championship. So, what do you think about it? I mean, do they deserve to be there? Are they the best team? Do you think you can just insert another SEC team, and you think you got the best, still have the cream of the crop, or do you need Clemson in there to just be the best playoff field?
I mean that's just how the playoff format works.
Yeah.
I don't think you can
No.
really complain when they act their at large bid. If they got an at large bid,
Yeah.
you can complain, but. They
Yeah.
win their conference. They win their conference, man. I mean, that's just how it is. It's like in the NCAA basketball. I mean, nobody complains if
Yeah.
a team goes under 500 and wins the conference tournament. Nobody's bitching about it. It's a cool
Yeah.
thing. So I don't know why it's different. Here, I don't like Clemson. It's because I don't like Dabo
Yeah.
and the way he does things. But nonetheless, that's if they're second in the conference. If they win the conference championship game, they get the automatic bid. I don't really see what's wrong with that.
No, I feel it. I feel it. You can't. You got to only players in front of you. People want to give all these teams, Indiana. They want to give them a hard time. Colorado. You can only play who's in front of you. So they kind of have to get that benefit of the doubt as well. So we'll see going forward though with them. I mean, do you think Klubnik is going to be a guy that I mean, he's going to be coming back, right? So. I mean, is he going to be the best quarterback in the nation next year? I don't know. We're going to see guys bounce around, but South Carolina, man, Florida and South Carolina are going to make the SEC very interesting next year, and I'm very excited to see because, man, who knows? Somebody's going to fall off. Who's it going to be? We'll see. You know,
I mean, I think Bama's going to fall off a little more. My early
they
prediction
could,
here, just an
they
early
could.
prediction. I mean, Milroe's going to be gone.
I
Brian
mean,
Williams might transfer after this. Honestly, they got to make
yeah,
they got to break the bank for him to keep him after. I know I got a quarterback right now, so
yeah. There's a lot of teams that are going to be without a quarterback, which we'll get into. I mean, it's already shaken up insanely now. We've had some games that we maybe should have had on here that, kind of got away from us. I mean, Arizona State put the absolute beat down on Arizona. I mean, Dillingham, we were talking earlier, they were picked to finish 16th
last.
in the conference, dead last, and now they have a chance to win it all in their conference. So, I mean, God, what a game. And we were seeing just from them every week. Fafita is absolutely just not shown up. Now, people say they have the best receiver in the nation, which I have a bone to pick with that. I think Nash there at San Jose State's the best in the nation. I think bar none. Put me on record. Can't wait till we do our pre-draft because I will prove that. I will prove that, Dalton, and
He didn't even
we'll
go
see.
first round.
Yeah, the eye in the sky doesn't lie,
Nick
man. And
Nash
you
won't
know
go
what?
first round. We could say that right now, early prediction too. Nick Nash. I like Nick Nash to death, man, but he's just a slot type of guy to me. Anyway, back to Arizona State though.
Go,
Give
yeah.
them the
Let's see it now.
give them some.
Are they a playoff team?
Yeah, it looks like they are. You asked me that a couple weeks ago, no chance. But man, they've just been playing great football.
They have.
Complimentary, both sides.
Yep.
Levitt playing good ball now, man. Jordan Tyson at receiver, 1,000-yard season.
He's a
And
beast,
then,
man.
of course, you got Skatibu in the backfield, and he's one of the best in the nation back there. So they got a good team, man. And last to first is always cool stories. So great
Yeah,
year
it
for
is.
them. We just put it on here because I thought it was a trap game for them. I know it's a
It's a
rivalry game.
rivalry game, in-state game.
They had to win to make the Big 12 championship, and they haven't made it.
Yeah,
They never made like a Pac-12 championship since I remember. So it was a big game for them. So
yeah.
shout out to them, man. They didn't fold or nothing, and I personally am cheering for them against Iowa State.
Me too. Me too. I just don't know what it is about Iowa State. can never root for them. Especially
I like their
I
quarterback.
don't like when teams have the same colors either and they're playing each other. I hate that shit.
I like their quarterback, Rocco.
Rocco, yeah, I like them. I like them. I think they'll go maybe a different route. We'll see what they do
Got two
next
great
year. Honestly.
receivers.
But yeah, man, I think it was a game we had to put on here because it was a party crash potentially, so we had to put it on there, and as well as the Iron Bowl. So we'll go ahead and move on to that. I mean, this game it could have been a lot worse. I think. Auburn just didn't show up. I cannot believe me and you picked Auburn, which we go ahead and put that in there. We got to wear that. That we picked them, and it was unfortunate, and just wasn't a good pick by me and you. I think we just let our anti-Bama hearts get in the
Yeah,
way there.
yeah.
Because if you watch anyone that watches Peyton Thorne play football, you could probably come away from that situation and that experience with a opinion on him that is not too favorable because he's not that good. I don't see how he's a starter for Auburn. So many quarterback teams just whiffed on their quarterbacks this year.
Thorne's
So
been there for 2 or 3 years too, so that's the bad thing. They can't. I don't know why they can't get a guy in there. They got a great running back, like always. A couple of good receivers, but you got to have a quarterback to win. You're right, and they don't have one.
imagine if they got like a Jordan McLeod, which fits perfect with them.
TJ Finley was there for a minute. They should have started
Yeah,
his ass.
yeah.
Honestly, I mean, better.
Shout out TJ Finley. Shout out TJ Finley, Western Kentucky Hilltopper.
Yeah, good backup quarterback. One of the best backup quarterbacks in the country, probably.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. But yeah, man. I don't know why we picked them. Jalen Milroe ran all over him this game. I thought
Yeah.
Auburn's
Show his
defense
legs.
would take Oklahoma's plan though from last week. I thought, we know how to stop Milroe now. It didn't work. So shout out to Milroe and the offensive coordinator figuring out a way to counteract what they saw the week before. But Oklahoma completely shutting them down.
Nah,
But
for real.
yeah,
I mean,
anti-Bama thing came out for sure. On my end for sure. I mean, if they're on our pick
it's
six,
the Iron Bowl. You never know.
if they're on our pick six, I probably won't pick them though. Let's be real.
I feel that. No, I feel that. I mean, if I would have watched some more Auburn football, I definitely wouldn't have picked them. I will go ahead and say that in a minute.
Yeah, I
But
didn't watch
you can
them.
never count Auburn out. As soon as you count Auburn out with Alabama, that's when they win. That's when something crazy happens. It's rivalry games. As you can see in the video we've shown, crazy stuff happens all day, all long. I mean, we got guys out here throwing fists. We had cops, Mason players, pepper spraying players. Or what's your thoughts on that? Was it that serious to where you got to pepper spray players, or is that for when like
I
crimes are being
I
happened?
don't know. He was that fight was getting pretty rough. I
Yeah,
heard.
it wasn't
So I don't
crazy.
know,
I
but
watched it. It wasn't crazy. I mean, it was crazy, but I
I mean, I've
mean,
seen some of the shot, but you can't see everything. I don't think in the
yeah,
film. But either way, you're probably was a little too far. I think. But it is also at the same time. It's hard to get if they're actually fighting that many kids, man. That many strong kids. What else you gonna do? Honestly,
Yeah, yeah. I
I mean,
feel it. I feel it.
you ain't gonna stop at that and do anything else if they're actually going at it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I watched it unfold live, and my jaw was on the floor. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. It was a crazy situation. But yeah, man. I mean, we've seen stuff go on just from our growing up, and we, like you said, we kind of thought that was out of the window with this new NIL movement here and this new era that we get in. But as you can see, people are saying it's just for the gram. That's why they're doing it. I don't care what you say. I mean, that was some good football. I'll take that this week too. I'll run it back. Run it back.
I don't care if
Run it
it's for
back.
the gram or not. They can do it for the gram all day. If it looks like that, that's fine.
Yeah.
Do it for the gram,
Yeah.
man. Whatever.
I swear, just whatever gives us an intense atmosphere. I mean, it's gave everybody a bang for their buck. I mean, made some memories there, and which brings us, to our next game here, another in-state rivalry, a game that was absolutely insane. If anyone caught it, which I'm sure you did, but we'll go ahead and get into it. Georgia goes into an 8 overtime game with Georgia Tech, in-state rivalry. I mean, Georgia Tech was up on them early. We got the highlights for you. I mean, they were up 17-0.
Yeah,
I mean, and
17-0. Look at that guy carrying him downfield.
who?
That guy for Georgia Tech was carrying his
Yeah, he's a beast. I thought you were saying Carson Beck.
I don't know. I mean, he did carry him in the
I
comeback. I
know.
ain't gonna
I
cap.
know he did. I know he did.
Haynes
Got to
King
give him
back
some
here.
credit.
I'm a big Haynes King guy.
You are.
Great
Yeah, I,
throw
I
for a
mean,
college quarterback. For a college quarterback, he's real nice. He's mobile. I could see him having a taste of hill type NFL career, to be honest.
ooh.
If in the right system, yeah.
Ooh, I like. It's not a horrible take, I guess. That's not a horrible one. I mean, he's
He's
better
real
than Brock
athletic.
Purdy, probably.
He's real athletic. He's just, Brock Purdy's just not athletic. So I think Purdy might be done in San Francisco. That's a time talk for another
Oh, he's
time, but
done.
he should
Yeah,
be
I wonder
done, bro.
who's. No one's ever said that if the 49ers were done this year. I wonder who said that preseason. Yeah, I mean, they're dead. I said before the season, 49ers are absolute done.
Oscar
I mean,
Delp
they're done.
touchdown. Here's the comeback. Two nice drives. And then
God, I mean,
here's
eight overtimes, and it looks like just Georgia Tech just ran
well,
out of
this
play.
is when you think the game's over right here. Georgia Tech goes down, scores a touchdown. You think they're about to beat them.
Yeah, you think it's over. I mean, they just had to hold off, and you can tell that that's how they were playing. They were
And
just hoping that clock just ran down, and they just kind of ran out of plays, I would say, in the red zone just for their overtime plays.
7.5
Because, I mean,
minutes
they
left. You're
had
up
it.
2 scores though.
They had it, I know. And then the defense collapsed. I think they see that big red G on their helmet, then they just collapse. Same thing in the NFL when teams play the Chiefs. They have up on the Chiefs, you got up on them, and then, oh my God, you just all of a sudden you remember you're playing the Chiefs and you forget how to play football for 2 minutes, and Mahomes
Oh,
scores
there's
the
that
game
hit by
winner.
Dan Jackson. People think should have been targeting. What do you think?
Let's see
You
here.
go back to that last play.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see here.
Yeah, after this, I think I don't. I thought it was clean. He was a ball carrier. He wasn't a defenseless. It's a great hit. I think. Comer. You can't really see it good. But
The fumble, the forced fumble, right?
yeah, he smacked his ass though.
Yeah, wasn't supposed to know targeting. No, it's a hit.
That's that
No,
thing.
it's a
Good
hit.
hit. And
Yeah.
then, I mean, great
No,
play by
no.
Dan Jackson, man. He won the game for Georgia with that play. That
Yeah, he
forced
did.
fumble.
Yep.
You got to
And
give it.
big plays. I mean, we've seen it come down to little plays like that, and especially when you go on a freaking 8 overtimes, it's always going to come down to one play. So I mean, God,
Desperation heave. I mean, if he would have caught that, then
that would have
Georgia's
been
hands it- Nate Frazier right up the middle. Nobody
right
ran
at
up
the
the middle
middle.
yet. Nobody tried up the middle in 8 overtimes. That was the first time. I was so waiting for that. I was like, somebody just ran a freaking dive,
Yeah,
and they finally ran a
yeah,
dive, and it worked. That's how I was. I
yeah.
would
But
have called dive first overtime, and I would have ran it till they stopped it, and then if he stopped it, then I'll run something else. But that's just me.
yeah, I mean, especially someone who played up front. I mean, when you're in that goal line situation, you got to just, what they say, smell the end zone, and it's just who's nastier and in case who's nastier for longer, because we usually don't see overtimes go that long. So, yeah, man, they escaped it. They got their playoffs hopes. I mean, they've been in do or die situations multiple times this year, it seems. So, I mean, Georgia, or do you think they can really pull off the three-peat? Can they really do it?
I ain't counting them out again, but man, they're so shaky. They got to beat Texas to even get in the playoff. I don't think they'll get in if they lose. They
No,
still
yeah, they gotta get in. They gotta
they're
get in,
still
but I
behind,
mean,
bro.
they weren't in a position to control their own destiny at one point, and now they're really trying to do the damn thing. So I don't know. I don't think they have my pick. A lot of people are still thinking Ohio State can go on a run after that debacle, which we'll get into later. But let's go ahead and get to Iowa State and Kansas State, which was a good game. 29-21 victory. Iowa State had a very good start to the season. Kind of had a rough patch there in the middle, but they're able to capitalize there, and you're going to see them, like you said, play Arizona State in the conference championship there. So, what do you think here as we get a kind of jump in the conference championships? Are they serious? Like you said, you're going to root against them, but what did you think about the game?
Man, I like their offense a lot, but something about them, their defense is solid too. Their pass defense is terrible, and Kansas State
Yeah,
can't really attack that. One of the worst pass defenses in the country. It's Arizona State, Sam Levitt, Jordan Tyson. I think they'll be able to get on that, but they got to stop the two receivers. Noel and Higgins, they're both having great years for Iowa State, man. And that game, it was a game of big plays. Kansas State kept giving big plays in the passing game, but they couldn't sustain drives, and they had three big plays, and that's about it on offense. So if Iowa State can do it next week, it'd be a great game, man. Big 12's been great all year, and I think it'll be
it
close.
has.
I think it'll be close
It
down to the
has.
wire next week. But shout out Iowa State for making a Big 12 championship. Matt Campbell, he's been
Yeah,
there a long time, man, and this is the best year he's had. He had years where he was hyped up for more than this. He had Dave
that's
Montgomery,
true.
Brees Hall.
That's
He
true.
had guys come through there. He's had guys, and
Very true.
this year you don't really have the certified, bona fide stud NFL guys. I don't think, but he did good. And maybe it's easier conference now, but it still ain't easy. So shout out Matt
No.
Campbell, and it's gonna be a great game next week. Even if they lose, I wouldn't be too mad if Matt Campbell makes a playoff. I mean, he's cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, they're just not a team you're just like you root for. Like you said, you don't hate when they win, but you don't. You're not. You never catch yourself rooting for them. So yeah, we'll see what they do. I just think anytime they win, it's a prize. Anytime, but you never seen them get blown out. That's one thing I will say. You've never seen Iowa State get blown out. But I want to get into our last game of our pick six here, which is the debacle that we've seen. I mean, I think we saw some really horrible coaching there with Texas and Texas A&M. But what do you think here? I mean, I want to play a video here from Coach JB there from Last Chance U and with our boy Steve Kim. Big fans of these guys there. They kind of just sum up this game and this coaching just debacle perfectly. So, but what do you think? We'll play it here real quick though.
Why are you not kicking the field goal? Steve, they better kick this fucking field goal.
I don't understand what's going on here, but if you don't make it here, the game's over. Now, if you kick it 17-10, you're still right in it.
Steve, they're not going to kick the field goal on fourth down. And you're down 2 scores, you fucking math major. You got to kick it.
Let's see what the football gods have to say, Coach.
Holy shit, man. This is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my fucking life.
They're not gonna get it.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my
All right,
fucking
so
life. Nah, I'm not
I want
even.
to tell everybody,
I don't
this
even-
is not recorded. This was taped live. Coach is not second guessing. But I don't know what's going on in modern day football, Coach. But teams need to take points. Bottom line.
Who's not second guessing?
No.
I am. That's the
you were
dumbest
first
shit I've
guessing.
ever
No,
seen.
you were first guessing.
I'm
That's
first
not-
guessing.
You're first guessing.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. You should be fired tomorrow.
What do you think about that? I mean, we've seen so many coaches do the analytic BS that we've seen. It reminds me of what Braum there at Louisville did with Notre Dame going into the half. Kind of the exact same thing. Didn't take the field goal. Would try to go for the touchdown. Then you're playing catch up the whole game. What do you think, though? That obviously I think cost them the game. You brought up a great point when Mike Elko brought up Texas in the press conference there. But what did you think about the game there? Did Coach JB sum it up perfectly there? Or what did you think? Want to elaborate?
Yeah, man, I agree. You got to take three to keep your team alive. You can't give up on the game. Like it's just stupid. I agree, man. Too many teams are going for it when you're down 2 scores. You need a
So
touchdown,
dumb,
a field
man.
goal either way.
So
You need a
dumb.
touchdown, a
It's
field
so
goal
dumb.
either way.
It
Fourth
just
down,
frustrates me.
kick the field goal because if you're down 10, kick the damn field goal. If you're down 7, all right, go for it, bro. If you're down 10, you need 2 scores. Regardless, just kick the field goal, man. It's stupid. I see it too often
You're
nowadays.
A&M. It's in-state rivalry. Take the points. This is Texas Tech. I mean, this is Texas A&M and Texas. I mean, what are we talking about
They're
here? You
trying to
gotta
go
take-
for the jugular, I guess.
yeah,
Aggressive.
well,
Aggressive coach.
Elko's been playing behind all freaking year. You think he would learn that he doesn't want to play from behind for once in his life, but that's what he does. I really feel bad for the seniors because I think it's just another example of coaches proven, and just kind of acting like I have next year, or I have the year after. I'm on a 5-year deal. Like he knows his job's safe subconsciously. Like if his job was on the line, I guarantee it wouldn't have been that call. But keeps him alive, and that just goes to show you why some of these teams, the Missouris, the Texas A&Ms, Kentucky, obviously, they just show why they're just not top tier SEC, man. They're just not.
Texas first year in the SEC in the conference championship, pretty impressive, I gotta say. Gotta
Let's
give them
talk
that,
about it.
man. Gotta give them that. But it's the best team they've had in a long time too. They got a good team, man. They're real deep. Their defense has been playing great ball. I would want to play Texas in the playoff. They're one of the favorites for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, we got crazy teams that weren't in the conference last year, and I mean the biggest thing that we've seen we've been calling it the last week and leading up to this week with Rivalry Week. It's been a lot of shake up there. It's been a lot of shaking and a lot of bacon, and a little shaking and a little bacon there with the conference championships. And here we take a look at them. First look, this will be posted on our page tomorrow. But God, here we are. This is the Power Four, however you want to call it. Then we got our G5 guys coming in, but did not expect it to look like this. But where you want to start here, Dalton? I mean, did you expect it to look like this at all? I mean, I did call SMU in the ACC championship. I love them, but what do you think here? Who's the biggest sleeper out of here that everyone's just sleeping on? Is it Iowa State? Is it really Iowa State or no?
Might be Penn State at this point
I know, man.
because
Their
nobody's
tight
talking.
end, man.
Just because nobody's talking about him, and you got the best tight end in the country. Yeah, he's a running back. He plays everything really. 900
Yeah.
yards for tight end. He's a beast, dude. And yeah, every other team's been talked about a lot now. I feel like, except Iowa State, but I don't think they're serious. If they get in the playoff, they ain't gonna win it all. So
Yeah.
it's not, that's why they're not a sleeper. I don't think Penn State, if they get a good, matchups, I think they could win it all this year. I like Drew Aller a lot, actually. And I like their offense, man. I know they can't be in big games usually, but if they don't have to play Ohio State, maybe they can win big games. That's usually the only big game they have play is Ohio State every year.
They
And they
might be
usually
able to
lose to
beat
them,
Ohio
but
State.
they don't have to play Ohio State in the playoff. Then maybe Pitt State can make a run.
They might be able to beat Ohio State after what we've seen this week,
I
man.
mean, they
They
just
really might.
always lose to them. It's like Ryan Day, Michigan. Ryan Day owns Penn State. He doesn't own Michigan. He owns Penn State.
Yeah, no, it's insane, bro. Like it's I never thought we would see something like that. Maybe I mean, it was crazy. I mean, we got teams keeping other teams out of the picture, which we want to get into next. So ACC championship did come down to really the Syracuse game, which we seen Kyle McCord just throw a party pooper there, as if you ever want to call him. But Kyle McCord throwing absolute dots there, and he kept or he actually got Dabo Sweeney in there. And so what do you? I mean, this is crazy. ACC championship just pretty much rode on this game. Miami blew it. Miami's defense just couldn't get up. You seen Vestrepo, or he had I think 130 yards, 120 something yards.
Great game.
He's an absolute beast. I can't wait to see him at the next level. But Kyle McCord, do have to give him his props there. Like I said, player of the week. Like I said, this performance right here is the reason why you're seeing Clemson in the ACC championship. So pretty crazy, man. He actually. Since that 5-pick game, we haven't seen, a
Dominant.
bad performance from him. We have not seen a bad performance.
He's actually been dominant since then. I gotta give him this. Gotta admit it. He's been dominant since then. 9-3 season for Fern Brown, first year on the job.
Yeah.
He got the quarterback he wanted in the portal. He said he
Did.
wanted him. Week one, he said, "Thank you, Ohio State."
Yeah.
I remember that, and then in the post game because he went for like 450 the first game. He's got good weapons though, man. Trevor Pena, you see right here. Orange
Yeah.
Gaston. Oh my God, super luck. LaQuint Allen, they got Jackson Meeks got 2 touchdowns. They got good receivers too. So it ain't all him. He's got good guys to spread the ball around too. But he makes it look easy sometimes. It's just he has some bad games and he's just inconsistent. If he could be consistent, man, he would be one of the best pocket passers in the country, which he might already be, but he's just inconsistent.
Yeah, I just think he's a good college quarterback.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think he's a
yeah.
good college quarterback. He's had a good college season. Pro, aspirations, his ceiling, I don't think it's too high, unfortunately, but he has been able to put some good performances in. And when you go put the team on your back there, they always just have crazy games there in the JMA Dome or whatever. It used to be called the Carrier Dome, but yeah, they've always have some crazy performances there, man. But they are in 23 now in the top 25. As top 25 is relevant all the way up until about tomorrow, till our new college football rankings, playoff rankings will come out. So we've seen some movement here. I mean, SMU, I think they're getting their respect finally. Well deserving. But here's how it's shaking out. Colorado obviously missing out of the Big 12 championship, unfortunately, but they did put the smackdown Saturday morning smackdown there and on or Oklahoma State 52-0. Oklahoma State coming in the best running back in the nation. They got this 80-year senior Bowman or whatever at quarterback, and it just didn't work out for him. I don't know if they'll fire Gundy, but during the game, I want to bring up Dalton now. If you might know, me and Dalton here were located in Louisville, and Johnny Unitas was the actual quarterback in Louisville back in the day. But during the game, it was announced with Colorado that Shadur Sanders has won the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award. So shout out to him. Big ups to Shadur. Going to go ahead and get in some highlights with Shadur. I think Shadur honestly put in one of the best performances of his career, like 436 yards. I
Yeah,
mean,
he went off. Efficient, too.
438. Yeah.
Real efficient with the ball. Yeah, great game, man. That's what you want to see out of him with his next to last game of his career. Hopefully they get a tough bowl matchup. I want to see him play a good D. That'd be nice. See him play a good SEC school or maybe Big Ten. Yeah, one of them. Rough, rugged teams. That'd be fun to watch.
Yeah.
But he played great and their offense has been great all year though. Outside of one or two games, Shadur's good, man. I think he's the guy. I think he's the guy in the
guy.
draft.
And
I think
Travis,
he's the
it's
number one guy
throwing
in
a
the country.
touchdown to Travis Hunter, who had a pick and a touchdown in the first quarter.
Three
See him
touchdowns.
getting here. Yeah, I mean, he almost had another pick too. But Shadur made some throws, man.
Great
That
throw right
only
there.
they're bad throws for most quarterbacks. Pretty much every other quarterback in college, and he can just thread the needle like that. He can just put it in places, and his progression was gradual, but the jump that he took from the second year at Jackson State to the first year at Colorado is very impressive, and I think some people are gonna talk about that, especially with his mechanics changing up, kind of tightened up his mechanics. But he'll probably going to be invited to the Heisman ceremony, but we can't shy away from Travis Hunter, man. I think he locked up the Heisman with this game.
Yeah, I think so too, man. Unless Jeanty got one more game though to help him if he goes off in the
Yeah,
conference ship. You never know. You never know if he goes for 250 in the conference ship or something leads him to win. It's gonna be real close. But if he
yeah,
don't win the Heisman, that's the thing. As a running back, can they ever win again? I mean, his season's
yeah,
better than he had a better season than Mark Ingram and who else? Derrick Henry when they won.
yeah.
So
He did.
that's
I know, but I think it's the same reason why some of these teams are getting hated on. It's just the strength of schedule. I think what
I
it's
think.
really going to hurt, it's not going to hurt the running back position. It's going to hurt the conference. Mountain West is just never going to be able to keep a guy ever again now.
All right, I like that point. That's a good point. But their strength of schedule is actually harder in Colorado. So
No, it is. But that's the reason why Colorado was never. I mean, obviously a multitude of other reasons, but that is one of the big reasons why they weren't getting the nod. Is because of their strength of schedule. They said, "Oh, well, the Big 12 wasn't as good as we thought."
yeah,
So we can't really give them the nod. But we've seen some crazy throws here. I think that Travis Hunter catch, which was a pass interference, but they did not call it, or I think they did call it, but they declined it. But here it is, right here. Want to show that one more time. Absolute crazy of a play. So I mean, it's been a really fun year just to watch them. They have obviously missed out on their opportunity for the playoffs, but no one had them in the playoffs. So
yeah.
shout out to them. But we got the stuff set. But some games outside of our top six, which we want to highlight, is that Michigan and Ohio State game. We've seen a 13-10 game. Is this going to be the last time that Ryan Day coaches against Michigan?
As he still make the playoffs probably. So I don't know how desperate they are to get rid of him yet. The more I thought about it, I think they should get rid of him. But
Hell yeah.
I don't know if I'm being too hard on him. He's only lost 5 Big Ten games, 4 of them are Michigan. I get it, but he's
Yeah,
not lost
47
anybody.
and 1 against other.
He hasn't lost anybody besides Michigan and Oregon this year.
About
So
that
that's
though.
pretty good. But yeah, you got to beat Michigan. I get it. Ohio State, that's the bottom line. You got to beat. If you ain't beat Michigan, you got to win titles. You ain't doing either. So maybe they get rid of him, but I don't know, man. If he makes the playoffs again, I think it's kind of hard. If you make the playoffs, I think that's the goal. At the end of the day, you're in the. If you make the playoffs, I think that's the goal now. 12-team playoff, just make it in. You got a chance. So that's what I think. But what do you
He's
think?
gonna have to. He's gonna have to pull an Ed Orgeron off to save his job. I mean, when you got what is it? What was the number? 1,831 days since the last
Yeah,
time you beat Michigan. I mean, we've seen coaches. We've called this the rivalry because we've seen that's the reason why. One of the reasons why is because we've seen coaches get fired just because they can't win this one game. So, and we've seen a team here that has been, I mean, stripped down to skeleton with Michigan. They don't have a quarterback, 62 passing yards, 2 interceptions. I know the one there, if you want to count them, but I mean, Khalil Mullins, I mean, he's the reason they won the game. Put the team on his back. Love what he said, post game. They had all that time to do all that fighting, and no, they didn't. So, but what did you think of the game there? I mean, Judkins and Henderson, they look at that. I mean, they're just not getting numbers. This was supposedly the most talented team in all of the whole nation.
yeah. I heard that before the year too. I hear it all the time with Ohio State. I've never been an Ohio State believer. They win a title every now and then because they're talented, but they usually
Yeah,
choke. And there's no way they should have lost this game, man. They're a way better team every position except maybe defensive tackle and maybe corner. I mean, Will
yeah,
Johnson didn't even play though. Will Johnson was out, so
yeah.
uh, Will Johnson was out for Michigan, best corner in the country, so you can't even count the corner. Ohio State, I mean, they're better every position pretty much. Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant at D tackle. That's probably the only position Michigan's better at, and they dominated the game up front. They just dominated the game up front.
Smacked
Will
them in the
Howard made
mouth.
two bad. Will Howard made two terrible throws. Both the throws he made that were picks. The guys were open. He just stood way behind the
Not
guys,
good.
man.
He's not good. He's not good.
He's,
Everyone had to sell me on Will Howard coming into the season, and I can't believe I bought it.
yeah, he wasn't great at Kansas State. I didn't see.
Wasn't even good.
Kansas State's good no matter what the quarterback is. They just
They
got a
could
good
have got
coach.
Cam Ward. They should have just went and got a Cam Ward. Imagine
Yeah,
Cam Ward on Ohio State.
yeah. Cam Ward would be nice there. You're right. Cam Ward probably would be. They would have beat Michigan at least.
Bro, it's crazy. But now I do want to bring that up there with Cam Ward. Supposedly they're thinking that it's going to be the Holiday Bowl, and they're thinking it's going to be Colorado versus Miami. So
Really?
supposedly, yeah, supposedly that's
Well,
what
that
it
would be
might
nice.
happen. Because Shadura and Travis announced they are going to be playing in the bowl. Coach Prime did, which is pretty cool to see that. A lot of everybody's sitting out. We've seen that over the past 3 or 4 years. So it's good to see that they're going to be playing the game. And I think if they match them up with Miami, that's going to force Cam Ward to play because Cam Ward's not going to not play if Shadura's playing. So,
Oh yeah. Another
it'll
thing
be good.
about what is Donovan Edwards is the worst cover athlete ever, right?
God, yeah.
Lost his
They're
starting
trying
job
to,
at Michigan. Lost his starting running back job
yeah.
to Khalil Mullins. I mean, he ain't even a starter no more.
The only thing that I give them credit for in leeway is because they're doing current players. They're doing the cover before the season.
I mean,
Uh,
right. I'm just saying.
So no, I agree. I mean, we'll probably have to see next year, right? Because all the other cover athletes, they're coming off big seasons because in
Yeah,
the
for
past,
sure, for sure.
it's
I mean,
NIL.
Jared Zambrowski.
Yeah, yeah. NCAA '08, yeah, the Boise State quarterback.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
might be the worst cover athlete. There you go.
He's
I don't know why they gave it to him. He knew somebody in the company or something.
hey, Boise State won with that was the year they did
Last year, Liberty. Yeah.
after the year after that he was the quarterback. I thought they should have picked the running back Ian Davis, but whatever.
They should have. Okay, so before we get into our last half of the show, real quick, do want to say anyone that's ever on Instagram, you're going to catch the last bit of our show. It is on Rumble and YouTube, which is in our bio. So see you there. You can just click that and catch us. So do want to move forward here with some stuff here with the transfer portal. We're already seeing it heat up. We have officially announced today before the show, Kaidon Salter, quarterback of Liberty, is actually going to be leaving Liberty and trying to find a new home. This is kind of out of left field, but where do you think he may go?
I actually don't think any of the big programs are going to want him after this year. He can't.
Ooh.
Did you see his stats this season?
No, I mean no, but I watched him play and he just didn't have the help he did
He
last year.
can't throw.
He can. I think he's better than Fafita.
He can run. He can't throw. I don't think. I think he'll go to Vandy, replace Diego Pavia.
Ooh, that's not a bad look.
Yeah, you like that? Same
That
offense.
is a big program.
They can run.
If you go Liberty to Vandy, you're winning.
Well, I'm talking about a title contending program. Because last year, if he let the portal last year, he would have come into a title contending program. I
God,
think
his stats are freaking horrible.
I told you. I think he let. Yeah, he had a terrible year throwing the ball. That's what I'm
They're
saying.
not horrible. He just had a 48.2 QBR, which is 87th in the nation.
Yeah, people. That's pretty.
So
That's almost that's considered horrible to some people for
he
sure.
started off really good though. He started off 4 games with 220. He had 242, 256, 228, 223. And then he only had one pick in those games. All of
Then
those
he,
games only one
then
pick.
he was trash afterwards.
I know, but he was started off real good and then they lost to Kennesaw
He
State.
sucked.
How do you lose when they lost to Kennesaw State? It kind of was, but he hasn't. He's only had one game of multiple picks.
I just don't think he's good, man. Personally,
The last game he had a 34% completion rate, but he started. I'm telling you, those first half of the season give me hope.
I feel that. I mean, he had a good year last year, but I thought he'd get better, not worse. You know, usually
He did.
quarterbacks.
He did.
You want quarterbacks to get better, not worse. He got worse. If he would have let the transfer portal last year, he could have went whatever he wanted almost. So I think he waited a year late, but Vandy would still be a good spot. I hope we see him there.
So
They would have to change their offense.
He has 15 picks, or 15 touchdowns, 6 picks, 1,886 yards.
That's it.
What
He
if
only got
he had?
2,000 yards.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you this next stat line, and you tell me if this is good. This is 73%. It's 27th in the nation for QBR. It's not bad. 9 picks, 18 touchdowns, 2,500 yards. Would you take that a lot? I mean, you think it's a good
2,500.
season? Yeah, yeah.
I
But
mean, is that
18 touchdowns, 9 picks. That is the stat line
that's not a
for our
great year?
next quarterback that's into the transfer portal. That's Miller Moss.
Yeah, it's a better year.
So he had a better year, but he didn't have a great year. Everyone thought that he was coming in, especially off the big bowl game versus Louisville. Everyone thought that was going to be a huge game, but he's entering the transfer portal, which I didn't think. I honestly thought he was a gritty guy that's going to stick with the team, and I'm very actually surprised.
He got
I'm
benched
surprised.
because he should have got benched. 18-9. It ain't like he's 9-18. Like, come on, that's a decent season. He's gonna do a Kyle McCord next year. Go out and ball.
Where do you
That's
think
my
you see
prediction.
him at? Where do you
That's my
think you
prediction.
see
He's
him
a
at?
great pocket passer.
If you had to change his jersey right now, what jersey would you put on for next year for right now? And
What
just
can I?
given what we know right
What
now.
can I can see him going to another Big Ten school, Washington.
Washington, okay, I like that. I like that. He can go hide up in Washington because he's not that good. So, that's what I think
McCord
he
type
needs to
season.
do. Now, I will have a question. Now we're seeing guys like signal callers. That's obviously going to get the headlines. Quarterbacks. We're obviously going to highlight that, but we may see a transfer, a guy that's going to team up with this guy right here is a Kevin Concepcion, whatever you want to pronounce his name, man. This guy right here is one thing he knows, and he's one thing you can't refute is he's a baller, and he's probably right now the most highly touted guy besides quarterbacks that
So
is entering
far,
the
yeah.
transfer portal. Here's the season's stats here, last 2 seasons there with NC State. 18 total touchdowns, man, in 2 years. Any team probably will take that, especially with NC State being at the ACC level. But do you see him teaming up with any of these big time quarterbacks, or what do you think?
I think he'll definitely go somewhere big. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty much. I think every team will probably try to get him. Man, he's a beast.
Yeah.
He was really good last year. Didn't have great QB play this year. Brought his numbers down a little bit, but
Well, McCall had that career ender, so that affected it.
that's what I'm saying. Bad QB play.
Yeah.
And even when McCall was playing, he wasn't he was a shell of himself this year. I don't know what.
He was.
I don't know why.
He was.
But CJ Bailey looks good in the future. Concepcion,
Very
I guess Concepcion didn't trust him. Wasn't feeling him. So wherever he goes, if somebody's getting a dog, like you said, man, he's a beast.
He is good. I'm excited to see him. A lot of good receivers, man. I mean, we have an abundance, I think, with guys who can get open on the deep route. I think we have some underrated route runners as well. You can see Brooks at Louisville. He's a good one. But, I guess he just wasn't happy with the situation. I guess he wasn't confident they were going to bring in another guy to help him out at quarterback. I would have maybe seen because you have until spring, then you got a window after that to see. I would have maybe seen who they brought in, especially coming off a big win, 35-30 against North Carolina. I mean, the in-state rivalry added to the list of rivalry games from this weekend. What a game. They scored with 30 seconds left or something like that?
Yeah. Shout out Hollywood Smothers. Game winning touchdown run.
Hollywood.
Yeah, I like Hollywood Smothers, man. One of my favorite backs because his name's Hollywood. So yeah, and
Yeah,
Marion Hampton though, man, he did all he could in this game to get North Carolina the win.
he tried.
He's a great back, man. I'm excited to see him at the next level.
Yeah. Yeah, me and you was talking, we're like, yeah, this guy's like first round talent, but we're like, damn,
RP3,
we have a lot of first round talent here. And Derrick Henry, you see guys like Saquon there, your former Giant, kind of like the Jokic of football, where they're bringing back the big man, bringing back the running back, and showing that you need him. So, you think we'll see three running backs taken? If Marion Hampton maybe be in the third in the first round?
I seen a mock the other day that actually had all three. If it's gonna
Love
happen,
it,
this is the year. Yeah, all three of them are beasts, man.
love it.
Hampton had back to back 1,500-yard years, so he did it twice. That's why I like him.
Yeah,
He proved he could do it more than once. You seen Ollie Gordon drop off, and
bad, bad.
Johnson wasn't that way last year either, and he was at Iowa last year, so he only had one good year too. So I think 2 good years that shows a lot about your potential.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. And doing another thing that's kind of popped my mind, especially with these bowl games. I mean, we're gonna see guys sit out of the bowl game, see guys make a name for themselves, get that hype going into next year, like we've seen Miller Moss. So very excited to see what's going on here. And like you said, these running backs, man, are making it exciting again. I mean, there's three running backs. We got Johnson from Iowa, obviously Jeanty at Boise State. And here we got Marion Hampton at North Carolina. And then we got young guys too. We got the guys in Louisville with Louisville's got two, three freshmen
Two
running
good,
back.
really good freshman backs. Yeah, Isaac Brown, Duke Watson averaged 9 yards per carry this year, man.
Crazy, bro.
Let me
Nine
see.
yards per carry. I'll take that any day of the week. Any day
On
of the week.
57 carries too, not like 10 carries. 57 carries, 514 yards, 9 yards per carry. Duke Watson, Isaac Brown, man. If Louisville can keep both of them, their run game's should be one of the best in the country next year.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of teams stick to the run next year. I think Colorado's one of those teams there with the Juju kid coming in. They're going to run the ball. If you're a running back in the transfer portal, how do you not maybe want to go to Colorado? The amount of carries you're going to get next year with them having a young quarterback. So another thing I want to bring up here with Colorado, they said, Coach Dion said in the press conference, he said, I'm going to make my kids play. Shadur and Shiloh and Travis, they're going to be playing in the bowl game because that would set a bad example for next year. So he's kind of alluding how he's coming, back to next year, and kind of threw a jab at Florida State, how they set out guys last year after they missed a playoff.
Yeah, well, Mike Norvell was a little bitch. So what do you expect out of that program? I mean, he sets guys, they don't want to play for him. I mean, he's worried about the flag. Instead of he's going 2-10, he's worried about a flag. Wants shake Napier's hand. I mean, Napier's
That was soft, man. That was a bitch move. I seen
yeah,
that, and I was like, I felt kind of bad for Napier, man. He deserved that
and
handshake, and you give that coach. He earned that
he did
right.
deserve it. He
They're turning me to a
turned it
Napier
around.
fan. They're turning me to a Napier fan because Napier put some respect on his name. He has nothing but his guys back, and you can tell his team likes him.
And
And you know what? That speaks volumes.
he's one of the nicest coaches in the country, which
Yes.
off the field,
Yes.
he's so respectable, so nice. He's never said anything bad about another coach.
I like him. I like him. He's a good guy.
He didn't say nothing bad about Norvell after that when they asked him. He was just keep the comments to himself, and other coaches wouldn't take the high road. He's a great guy, and I'm glad I'm finally at the point where I'll say I'm glad he's our leader. I haven't said that yet. I said I feel good about him. I've said that before. Then I've been back and forth, but now I feel good about him being our leader, man. No
Yeah.
off-field issues to speak of the past 2 years, and I know
Yep.
we haven't had the winning yet, but it's shown the last 3 weeks. They're about to be there. Next year is going to be a lot of fun, I think, and we're still getting recruits every freaking hour. We just got 2 more today. We just got a safety transfer flip today from Miami, 4-star. So I mean, we're up to like 10th in the recruiting trail. So yeah, Norvell's could suck it.
Somebody left a comment on our page here saying that per Jacksonville State beat reporters, Rich Rodriguez has been offered a massive 10-year contract to return to West Virginia, bringing a massive staff. I don't know, was including
Including
Jimbo.
Jimbo Fisher.
I don't know about that. We'll see. I wouldn't doubt it, but we'll see. I have to maybe look into that. Maybe that's something to keep an eye on. But maybe so. Maybe it's a to troll, but we're going to see a lot of coaches move around, especially the coaches portal is going to be crazy. I think these buyouts, you're going to see these coaches get buyouts quicker because they just want to win, man. Some of these programs just want to win. Florida State, they just want to win. Florida, they just want to win. There's these guys, for Arizona State, we're going to see them buy in on a whole new level next year. I guarantee it, to keep their guys around and keep that culture that they're building. So it's been real fun, man. Rivalry week, it really, week 14, whatever you want to call it, it really lived up to the bill, I'd say. I think this is my favorite week of the year. What do you think? When if you look back, 2 weeks ago was real good too, but what do you think?
I don't know.
This is the best week? Is this the best week of the year so far?
This year, yeah, probably was the
Yeah.
best year, but I have to look back and really, think about it. But probably just because all the emotion that was in it. I mean, look at him throw. He threw that flag so far, bro.
He threw it so far,
I didn't know
bro.
if I could
He
go that far.
launched it. Imagine catching that flag to the face.
I didn't know if I could go that far.
Bro, it looked like
George Gums, baby, putting that. Look, see it stuck in there.
Yeah, bro, it was crazy. It did. It did.
Shout out Northern Illinois transfer George Gums, great season by the way. So I'm glad he's the one that did the flag. He deserved it. He balled, man. He had a couple sacks that game too. So they can just if they don't want us to plant the flag, they should beat us. That's what I think.
Yeah, that's exactly. They had all that time to do all that fighting during the game. So, now they want to show out and act like you care now. I mean, you wouldn't. I will say when me and Dalton on our team, when we lost the state championship, they started fighting on the field during the game. Our team did. They didn't wait till after the game.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
started fighting during the game.
Yeah,
I respect that a whole lot more.
for sure. It's better to do it that way.
Yeah, I respect that a whole lot more.
Like that's
So,
during the game. That's fine. Yeah.
yeah, I like that Texas A&M right here. That stuff was getting real chippy there.
Yes, Arch Manning, shout out Arch Manning, his design run, little came in,
Yeah,
design run touchdown. I mean,
yeah.
he looks
Everybody's excited for them. Everybody's excited for him next year.
Arch gonna be dangerous, bro.
He's gonna be on the cover of the game. How is
He's,
he not on the cover of
he's
the
fast. Him and Lagway together, maybe.
game? Shut up, man. It's baby steps, baby
He's got a
steps,
lot of hype.
baby steps. He's got hype. He's got hype. I like him, man. He reminds me of a kind of a Jameis, but like at the same time, man, he's just like you can't
I
tell
like
he's a freshman.
I like Jameis. Yeah,
Yeah, and you can't tell he's a freshman out there. I'll have a better comp as well as we move on. But yeah, man, I'm excited for Florida. I think you got your guy. I'm excited, and Norvell is soft for not shaking his hand. You shake your hand as a man when you take the loss. I mean, literally that's what we grew up playing ball. You line up in the thing and you shake their hand.
yeah, absolutely. I
Talk
mean,
shit during the
win,
line, but you
loss,
still shake their hand.
win, loss or draw. You don't have to say good game, but shake his hand. You don't have to say
Yeah,
good.
at least the coaches and now with the NBA, the teams don't even do it, but the coaches do.
Coaches,
So
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't really care what the players do, man. At the
no,
end of
but
the
the
day.
coaches should.
Coaches should, yeah.
Yeah, they're supposed to yell at people in the group or whatever, how you want to put it. But
For
yeah,
sure.
man, it's been a crazy week. We got conference championship week coming up. So Army and Navy is when this week?
2 weeks now.
2 weeks. Conference championship is this weekend.
Yeah, Boise State UNLV play in game 2, probably.
Yeah, Boise State and UNLV. You said, man.
That's probably a play-in, right? UNLV jumps. Oh, they win. They win the conference. So yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what UNLV does. I think some of these teams are going to be switching. We'll see if UAB trying to moves forward and moves away from Dilfer. But Iowa State and Arizona State is pretty crazy there in the Big 12 championship. Didn't think anyone expected that. And you brought up a great point with Penn State, man. You got to put at some point. We picked this team to fall off like week 8, week 9. Me and you did. We said they're falling off. This is the week, and they just have held on. They've held on, and this is the best. I mean, they want to complain about how they don't have the night games, all the big noon games they had, whatever, which is a soft take. But they're in the championship game, so you got to take it for what it's worth. Shout out SMU though. Shout out SMU.
Yeah, Kevin Jennings, man, good quarterback. Brashard Smith, moving him from receiver to running back, maybe the most underrated move any team made in the offseason. One of the best backs in the country this year, Brashard Smith, receiving and rushing. He was a receiver at Miami last year, so great move there. Great quarterback. Great last year.
Miami.
Love to see it. Love to see it.
If Ohio State would have won by the hair on their chins, everybody would be talking about Miami. They escaped the headlines. I think it's
Miami is
backlash they deserve because they.
Miami always chokes, bro. I mean, they suck. They beat us, but
But
they played
no,
us.
but you gotta understand they haven't even been in a position to choke in so long.
No, they choked like they done it. They done it like not that long ago.
With who? Kaya or Stephen Morris?
No, Malik Rozier.
Okay.
Do you remember him?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, they were
I
like
know.
11-0, 10-0, lost the last two.
Okay. One thing I do want to put up here. I don't know if I have the video of it. Shout out to Duke.
Good year.
Duke Malik Murphy with the game winner with 30 seconds left, right? I mean, 30 seconds left. That was a touchdown. I do not have the video, but shout out to him. He had a really impressed. They had a really impressive year. I don't care what anyone says. They've been really impressive, and I'm actually very excited to see Manny Diaz at Duke. But shout out to them. Got the stats here. Malik Murphy did go for 235, 26 for 34. I mean, can't do
Yeah,
too much better than that, man. And
good
then
quarterback.
shout out to him. Shout out to him. Nobody over 100 with rushing. He only had 98 as total as a team. And they were able to show up and show out, man. So shout out to Malik Murphy. I think he is going to be a very highly touted quarterback coming into next year. So yeah, I really do think that. But what do you think? Do you think they could be, someone to, watch out for next year, Duke?
No,
No,
that's all. Just simple. No, they'll be good. They'll be 8-9, 3, 8-4, maybe.
they
But
won't. They won't be. They won't
they
be
could.
next. They won't be the Indiana of next year.
I think no, probably not. They'll probably have a harder schedule. Indiana just got lucky. Sure.
Indiana got lucky.
That's how I feel. You know how I feel about them. They played one good team. It wasn't even close.
I know. I'm just wondering because they could still get, two things can be true. I think they could mess around and have a better schedule next year and be better team. I think they can just improve both
For
things.
sure. Indiana did what they're supposed to do. I've said that all year too. I'll give them that credit. They blew a lot of teams out, so I'll give them that. They had no close games against bad teams, but still got to beat good teams one time. Maybe they'll do it in the playoff. They might get in still. I think they will get in. A lot depends on this week, but I think Indiana looking good right now. We'll see tomorrow, but if they get in,
Uh,
they'll have to prove it to me and win a game before I give them any credit.
give me your predictions here on the. And we got the top 25 poll, but give me your predictions on where they're going to have Indiana at. Do you think they're going to have maybe playing in the first round?
I don't. They'll probably be like 9. So I mean, they'll be 11, 10 or 11 seed. Yeah. They're gonna probably play Penn State or Notre Dame.
Penn State or Notre Dame. So I would love to see a Penn State game. Now, Notre Dame, they got to get in the conference, man. This is some bullshit that they can just escape here without, being in a conference. I
They
really
don't get a
think
bye though.
I don't care. I don't
They're a top
care.
4 team. They don't get. They're a top 4 rank and they don't get a bye. So that's fair.
Yeah, but when have they ever been in a position? Are they ever going to be in a position where they're so good they're going to buy? Really?
Right now they would be. That's what I'm saying. They're ranked number 4.
If they were in a conference, though, I guarantee you they wouldn't be.
If and buts are candies and nuts, man.
I know. I
They
know,
have
but
they
that's
have a
not
good
fair
strength of schedule.
when we got all these teams missing out because of their conference, and then they get to be in, and they get to be in because of their non-conference that they're in. Like,
I don't think that's.
make
I don't like it either. I think they should be at a conference too, but they're not. So I'm not gonna say here. At least they can't get a bye.
okay, and that's what I was just wondering. That's what I was basically just wondering. Do
Look,
you
if they
think
were
they should be
undefeated
in a
and they're ranked
conference?
number 1, they still wouldn't get a bye. So that's all I'm saying.
I think Duke pulls one of these on them if Notre Dame's in the conference. Here's the game winner with Malik Murphy. Had to get it in here, but here's the game winner. I mean,
Hot
I
open.
think yeah, he's been balling, man. I really got to I like him for next year.
Good year by Jordan Moore too. Receiver, good year.
Yeah, I did not expect him to have such a good year, honestly. And they've had the most wins while either trailing in the fourth or overtime.
I thought they were going to be
So,
pretty good this year. I think I knew he was going to do good. I liked him at Texas. He was a huge recruit, so I knew
yeah.
he had the talent. And I knew they had to go running backs coming back, so I knew they'd be okay. They have performed my expectations, though. I thought they'd make a bowl game. Not as good as they are, though, for sure.
Yeah, no, I feel it. Yeah, so we'll see what the playoffs looking like tomorrow. We'll have a review show of the conference championships here, man. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. If you're able to catch our Thanksgiving draft, we had a good here pick 'em of our Thanksgiving. We got our logo draft coming up. It was a crazy week. I mean, got Jason Wright, who's fighting to get into the state championships there in Virginia. We had a all-time leading passer over the weekend be set there, all-time in Florida. So shout out to Ennio Yapoor. I've got his name right 3 times. I don't think I can get it right again. But Dalton, before we head out of here, what's your final thoughts on Rivalry, man? Let's give us your thoughts, brother.
Man, it was. I love the emotion, like I said before. Just keep that in the game. We'll be fine. Now everybody's gonna complain about something, no matter what. But this was a
Yeah,
great year of college football. Yeah, the portal. Yeah, it's gonna bother some people, but it's a great year of college football. At the end of the day, I don't care what anybody says. 12-team playoff looks like a success already, just because every game's pretty important.
meaningful football.
And we still got a lot of big games left. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man.
Same here, man. We got the conference championship set. We'll have you covered for the full preview. Shout out to everyone on Rumble, YouTube, Instagram if you came over. We really appreciate it, guys. We'll have some more players that are coming on. We do have Jameer Scott coming on, Wisconsin commit from Mount Healthy. Got him confirmed over the break. Seeing where he comes in. He's actually going to be enrolling early. So he was at the Wisconsin game this last week, freezing his butt off in 20-degree weather. So we're going to be doing the same. It's been cold, but we'll leave you on that note. Dalton, you have a good one, man, and we'll see y'all later.
Yeah, see ya.
See you guys.